You like the mustache?
Oh, I do. I did.
Everybody likes the mustache. Oh yeah.
Some people, some people cannot pull off a mustache, and by pull off, I mean some people just look like douchebags when they have mustaches. And,
Yeah.
it's usually the, like, online, whenever you get like a comment on some music and it's like the actually guy, actually the first version of this was released in 1984, and then you go look at his profile and it's always like short boy haircut with mustache, and I'm just like, okay, come on.
Yeah. 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 I never thought I could pull it off, but the moment I shaved it in, I thought, yeah,
It works.
I can roll with this.
Yeah, it works. That should be
Nice.
There's the beginning of the episode. We really hit the ground running.
Absolutely.
Hold on, let me make sure. Hold on, I got like a new little cheap ass lighting thing to like light me better. But
Nice.
oh, that's
Nice.
better. That's better.
I have a huge
Better.
box light like right there, but I tried it one episode and it was too harsh. It was too
Yeah,
close.
I try to figure out like the right setting to where it lights me better, but also it's not like all bright in my face. I think that's okay. I think I'll leave it there. Anyway,
Yeah, because it's.
I was gonna go into the intro, but you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like the lighting situation this time of year tends to change throughout the episode, so I'm just like, fuck it, I'll keep turning my brightness up.
So hello everyone. Welcome to Not Cranked and Ranked, Grooved and Removed. Right? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Sometimes I get slashed and mashed is a different. This is grooved and removed. Ugly Kid Joe. And
Been a while.
It has been a while. Ugly Kid Joe is probably it's probably in the top the first like dozen or so episodes that we did when we started the podcast.
I would go as far as to say possibly in like top the first 5. Possibly 6 or 7, but it's early.
Yeah,
It's an early episode for us. Yeah.
So it's been a while since we've talked about them because we're both big fans of them, but this will be as we do on these episodes, going through all of their, in this case, albums and EPs, and just choosing which song, if we could just remove a song from it, would we not miss, or if it helps, if it the flow of the album isn't completely fucked by it or whatever. But this is I feel like this is the first one where there are 2 of their releases that I'm just like, whatever. Just remove whatever. Because if for people that have heard us talk about Ugly Kid Joe in the past year or two, they as a fan, they did me dirty because they put out an album with a fantastic album cover, but the most ho-hum fucking album I've ever heard in my life in the contents of the music. So it's the first time they've put something out that I wasn't excited for. So it kind of bums me out. But it's like one of those things where I think that's part of growing up, really, is realizing that not every band is going to continue to put out things that you love. And that's fine. Because there are some bands that I can think of a couple bands where they put out 2 albums that are 2 of the most, 2 of my favorite albums, and then they continued to put out shit where I just went, okay. But you just move on with your life. So anyway, but Ugly Kid Joe, this was a big band for me because fucking first EP came out in 91. and I was 13 years old, and it was
Perfect.
I mean, that was it was yeah, it was there were several releases that came out in around 91 that were just perfect for not only my age but me as a person. But yeah, so that's what we're doing, going through all the shit, deciding a song to remove. And I'm going to take this opportunity, since I've never done it in any other video, to show off my Ugly Kid Joe collection as we're doing this.
Nice.
So it's kind of like, a collection video and well, I'm sorry for the people in the podcast world, but I'll explain what it is that I'm showing at the time. But yeah.
Cool.
You have any thoughts?
First things first, I wanted to ask actually, we're including EPs in this, right? So,
as far as I know, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Nice.
Yeah, I did all their albums and their 2 EPs.
Nice. Me likey, I did the same.
My choices. Cool.
And quick little thing as well. The rules for this, if you haven't heard of Grooved and Removed before, we're not allowed to remove covers, instrumentals, or interlude type things, intros, outros. They're too cop out. It'll be too easy. It needs to be a fully formed original song that needs to be going in a gun to the head scenario. So yeah. Cool.
The real question is, what order are we doing this in? You want to start from the newest and work back, or vice versa? What do you think's the best?
I think most of the time we go forwards. Let's go backwards this time.
That actually is good, because we can start with their newest whatever album,
Rad Wings of Destiny.
Rad Wings of even the title promises a good time, and there's not really a good time on this album. It bothers me so much. Anyway, this album was from 2022, and yeah. Anyway, so
I like it more than you. I would say like half the tracks I have listened to on a semi-regular basis. Like there's some in there that I think, oh yeah, and there's some where I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But end of the day, I'm just glad they put another album out.
Yeah, I think my big problem with it. Well, I have several big problems with it, but there's too many like sound alike songs. Like they used to be a band that kind of like didn't really fit in anywhere, but had kind of their own thing going at the same time, and could still
a very
like
strong AC/DC influence on
AC/DC. Yeah, and then there's a cover song on it that's not amazing, but like my biggest gripe is that nothing. Not only is it not very fun anywhere in the album, but then it just ends on these fucking these downers of songs. And it's just so like, I think it would be different if they maybe had packaged it where the cover didn't look like a fucking badass time and it wasn't called Rad Wings of Destiny. But this is the one where I don't care what we remove, but I did choose a song from it to remove.
Okay.
So it's 10 songs altogether, and I just chose the one that bothers me the most, and that is the second song, Not Like the Other, because it's really lame. But I hate saying these things because I think about this band. I'm like, oh, this band was so important to me, and Whitfield Crane's just a fucking fantastic vocalist. But I can't lie. I do not like it. So what did you end up choosing?
They're all fantastic musicians, but I am not gonna lie, I'm inclined to agree that this song, Not Like the Other, to me, when I was listening to the album, I also picked Not Like the Other, by the way. So that's
nice,
pretty swift, one and done. But That Ain't Living is a pretty badass kick the door in track. Everything's Changing, Kill the Pain. I love those 2 songs. The Lola cover's fun. Failure and Long Road, I like those songs. Dead Friends Play is alright. Up in the City, Drinking and Driving, the like back half album songs. But Not Like the Other is the one song in the album where it's like it doesn't feel like a track two song. I do feel
No.
like I definitely did feel a sense of it sucks a little momentum out, but it's one of those. It's a song for me that it garners the 2.5 out of 5 thing, where it's like,
Yeah.
it's not terrible, but I'm used to Ugly Kid Joe at least injecting a little bit of energy into it. That song in particular, just it just could have done with being a little quicker, or
Yeah.
injected with a little more energy. But Ugly Kid Joe still a top 3 favorite band for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that if they were more of a desert island favorite kind of band to me, I would probably have a lot more patience with this album. But maybe if it had come out a long time ago in between a bunch of other albums that came out, I could listen to this and go, oh, okay. But we're at the age now where, are they going to put out another album? How long is it going to take? So you're just left with this, whatever this is. And yeah, anyway, I'm talking about it like it's the worst fucking thing ever, but it just is. It is like, it's just a disappointment. It's just not, it's not fun. And all of their albums, I would say, that's the one thing that they're enjoyable and they're fun. There's a good vibe, and this one just doesn't. Even in this song, like not like the other, it has the structure of the song and the beat of the song sounds like, it's got that. It's like the what's that Gary Glitter song? It's got that beat to it. The rock and roll part 2. Hey, dun, 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 dun. But even the haze in the beginning of the song sounds so. Hey.
Yeah.
So it could if they had done it better. Like, that's the thing, is that, like, it's not a great song, but it's almost like they just phoned it in. They're like, okay. Okay. Anyway, is that the first Gary Glitter reference in our podcast?
It might be, and let's keep it that way.
Yeah. Anyway.
Honestly though, like, That Ain't Living, and Everything's Changing, 2 songs that I really like from that album. But again,
so
like
removing this song is keeping the momentum going for you. So this is good.
Yeah, that was my rationale.
But then you're left with a fucking 9-song album where one of them is a cover. It's like Van Halen, Diver Down, much,
Diver Down, yeah. Diver Down, Night in the Ruts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Night in the Ruts, I love that one, as we talked about.
Yeah, boy. Cool. So
that's the only one that I don't have any. Well, I also don't have a physical copy of Stairway to Hell when we get there too. But everything else, I've got something to bring out and have fun.
I have a signed version of Stairway to Hell.
Oh, then that there we go. Now you have it with you, like in your room right now.
Not with me in here, but at the location where my vinyl is located.
Got it. Well,
in the greater compound known as the Southwest, entirely operated by Eddie Sparxx Productions.
Yes. You're a big deal. You're a big deal around those
I
parts.
have crowned myself the Prime Minister of Cornwall. The only problem is nobody's listening to me.
They're all too busy trying to maintain that Cornwall. Like, why?
Yeah.
How long has it been up? Like, every time I hear the name Cornwall, I go, "Was it named after a wall of corn?"
Man, we're hucking cobs at that thing daily, and it just won't stay up anymore.
All right, so that brings us to the previous full length, Uglier Than They Used to Be, which I think this cover is actually different than the one online, because it's like a vinyl specific cover, I believe.
I have that one as well, and it's green. Yeah, and it comes with a poster.
I think mine is mine green. Yeah, it's a green. Yay! It's a green record.
Snap! We have the same one.
Did mine come with a poster? Oh, hey! I got this such a long time ago. I didn't realize that it came with a poster.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's huge. That's what she said. Dang, that's a cool ass poster. Too bad it's all folded up. So that's the thing, is that, like, just charge me a couple extra bucks and roll it up and put it in a tube if you're going to give me a poster. I still may not put it up, but I would like to have the option of it looking nice. Anyway, so I have a definite pick from this album, and as I was thinking about it, I'm like, did we discuss this when we ranked their albums? Because I have an unfuckwithable reason to remove the song that I chose. And
Okay.
you may, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then we're going to have to do one of those things where you go listen real quick. My choice was to remove Under the Bottom.
Oh.
And that's not that bad of a song, but there's cover songs and other stuff. But they wrote the same fucking riff 2 times and put it on the same album with one single note difference.
I know what you mean.
It's in the same key. It's the same strumming. It's the same tempo. So if you literally go play the first 5 seconds of Hell Ain't Hard to Find and then the first 5 seconds of Under the Bottom, that
I'm gonna do that now.
do it.
Oh man, yeah, I've noticed this before. Yeah, the thing is, man,
So here's the thing.
but you'd lose that that you'd lose that. That's like the highlight of the album for me.
Isn't that Pink song? Anyway, no, but like here's my thing with that. I don't feel like I'm special. So nobody in the band or in the recording session went, can we at least change the intro maybe? Because it's like, and that's why I think the most recent album came out the way that it did, because I don't think they surround themselves with people that go, maybe don't do that. So this is very clear, because it's like to not get a copyright strike, I'll do like a vocalization of what they sound like. So Hell Ain't Hard to Find, and then Under the Bottom, it's literally like I tried to change the one note, but it's even the same speed. Everything is exactly identical.
I took a similar approach to what you've said. I know exactly what you're driving at. There's 3 songs total, I think, on the album. So I'm just listening right through the intros of all of them, all right now. So she's already gone. Nothing other changes. My old man. So, hear me out.
Okay.
For the same reason, there's actually 3 songs on here that start in a similar sort of thing.
But at least the other ones, they slowed it down or something, you know?
My pick is Nothing Ever Changes for the same reason.
I like that one.
But the thing is, I took a look at it and I thought to myself, I'm going to compare these 3 songs. Which song does the least? And Nothing Ever Changes came out as the one that goes the least places for me. It stays in that chill zone, whereas Hell Ain't Hard to Find and Under the Bottom have parts where it kind of like whoosh comes in with the heavy and drops out and then comes back in, and Under the Bottom has that badass Maiden-esque riff at the end.
You're right.
I'm gonna fight Under the Bottom's corner on this because there's too many interesting changes in that song for me to justify getting rid of it solely based on its placing in the album.
And you know what? We should leave it on there. We're not going to help Ugly Kid Joe. They fucked up. Now the whole world's got to know about it. And so that song stays. But I like Nothing Ever Changes. Like, I don't.
I don't dislike any Ugly Kid Joe. I simply think that there are songs on an album that do more,
Can,
and Nothing Ever Changes happen to do the least, in my opinion. Because
doesn't
it doesn't.
but I feel like My Old Man doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, but my old man though it doesn't copy a riff that's happened 3 times.
That's true, but oh man, I don't know.
I don't know. I kind of like my old man. It's. Sorry, podcast 101. Don't take a sip of a drink halfway through a sentence.
Speaking of that, do you know what I didn't notice until recently? I don't know if this works on every platform, but I went to go like to the Apple Podcast app and just to like check on I do that. I'll go and check and see, did our episode come out? Is it there? All right, cool. But this last time, like I went to go just play it for a second, and it literally transcribes the entire fucking thing. You can push a button and I'm all like, I didn't even know that was an option, and that's pretty sweet. So I can
I don't remember.
Hey,
That's gonna be one hell of a transcript, man.
Everybody go and see what that. It probably won't even transcribe it because like the AI technology is so good now that it's just like, we know you're being a douchebag. Stop it.
This is where, like, through some horrible chain of events, it just comes up with like every slur possible, and it just lists like the worst sentence ever.
Just to teach me a lesson. Like, don't fuck with us.
Don't gibberish on the damn podcast.
Anyway, all right.
There's just one really offended person with it on mute.
Yeah. let's take that. We'll get rid of Nothing Ever Changes because I'm not a huge fan of this album anyway. So it's not like I'm like, well, I'm not willing to fight for any of these songs. They're good. It's way better than the most recent album, but yeah. So we can get rid of that. We can get rid of Nothing Ever Changes, but I do like that song. I do. Indeed, I do.
Okay, so that brings us to the EP zone for the first time.
Stairway to Hell from 2012.
I remember this coming out. I remember getting it for Christmas, and I got into Ugly Kid Joe post breakup at the perfect time, like because I could have got into Ugly Kid Joe at any time. I didn't even know they had a new album coming out, and then I checked their YouTube channel like a week into being into them, and I was like, they got a new song.
Yeah,
perfect timing. Love that. So yeah.
I have to admit, I don't think I even remember this coming out. Like it, because I don't think I knew that they were doing anything. So it's not like I was following them on any kind of social media. And I don't think that this was a very highly publicized. Like there wasn't like a billboard saying, go listen to the new Ugly Kid Joe. So I don't think I heard it until after I heard Uglier Than They Used to Be. Because that was the one that when it came out, I saw something about it and I went, oh, they're doing things. And so, so this is 6 tracks.
9 if you got the special edition.
That's true. But those are like acoustic versions of other songs. So those wouldn't be removed anyway, right? Because it's too easy to do that. Mm-hmm. So out of all these, this is another one that,
this was hard for me because I like all of the songs here.
Yeah, I don't know why I chose No One Survives.
Interesting. I entertained that idea because I was thinking to myself, it's a very bleak song for Ugly Kid Joe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't deny it's also a really cool song. Like, I remember listening to it for the first time. I was like, this is dark. for Ugly Kid Joe, but they wrote a song and it came out the way it did. But yeah, I can see that. It does stick out as like the one song on the album that's like not a good time song.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even Another Beer, laid back as it is still a good time song. And it follows the tradition of the Ugly Kid Joe cool down song. It's like they always put a chill song at the end of the album. And I like it. I like it for that reason.
Yeah. I mean, it could be an argument to keep the song because it adds a different flavor to it. Which one did you choose to remove?
I ended up choosing Love Ain't True, which I didn't want to do. But I thought to myself, at this point in the album, and it's cool because it's got, Angelo Moore and Dirty Walt from Fishbone on it.
Yeah.
I've got a Fishbone CD right here.
That's a good one.
I scored it for like 20p at a car boot, which is pretty cool.
Love some Fishbone. Yeah.
Yeah, love some car boot.
My only problem with that one is that the horns in that
the horns are poorly recorded.
They're kind of grating. Like it's almost like they took the room out of the sound, and so it's just a fucking horn in your face. Yeah. So I mean, it hurts me to get rid of with the Fishbone dudes in it. It's a fun song. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird that I keep looking at the track listing and I was like, "You make me sick." Isn't that a song that you guys wrote too?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yours is just called "Sick."
Yeah. We cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
I don't. Yeah. Once again, there's a vinyl version of this, and I have not bought it because I don't really care. I like it, but it's not like anything that I have to have this on vinyl. So,
cool story. I met Sonny Mayo at the gig I bought this from, the signed vinyl copy. Really cool.
Nice.
Really cool guy.
I got Sonny Doggo right behind me.
Cool.
That's my dog. You doing okay, buddy? He's taking a nap.
Dogs are rad, dude.
He's the only one that like just chills with me in my room. Everybody else, as soon as I start doing something on my own and close my door, they immediately want to leave. But he's just like, "Nah, dude, I'm kind of cool hanging with you."
Honorary third member. Which one is he? Is he the Schnauzer?
No, he's the black one.
Oh, okay.
The newer black one. Do you want to come up here?
Cool. Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah, dude.
He's a star. Are you a rock star? That's my dog.
Oh.
Say something to the podcast people. All right. Yeah. He's our newest one. We've only had him for 6 months.
How many do you have now?
6. We have 6.
Nice. Slowly forming an army of dogs.
I say that we've hit our limit, and my wife says, maybe 10 should be the limit. And I'm like, no.
Call it at the double digits. Fuck it.
It doesn't help that I'm also the kind of person that I can't just force my dog to sleep on the floor. Mm-hmm. And so we have a really big bed, but we also like got this lay down like futon thing that we put at the end of our bed because our bedroom's actually pretty huge. And so there's room for us and all of the dogs to get a spot and go to sleep. But I'm just like, that hurts my heart. Like having a dog and being like, "Oh, we're going to be up here all comfortable. You go on the floor because you're a dog." I'm just like, no. Yeah. That's not what we're doing here.
Let the little guy come in the fucking bed, dude.
Yeah. And we don't. Our dogs, aren't like super dirty or anything because they hate fucking going outside. So. Especially we've had a lot of rain. They don't like going outside when it rains.
Strange. It's raining in Texas and it's actually sunny over here today.
Hey, I mean, we need a break over here in Houston. We've had hurricanes, and now we're just having all kinds of flooding in areas because of there's so much rain. But yeah, all right. But sorry, back on track. You met Sonny Mayo. You said, that's awesome.
When I was 15,
I still feel
GTA 5 had only been out for 2 months.
Oh man, nice.
It's now been out for fucking 11 years, and I'm still waiting for GTA 6.
What was the thing I saw recently that they announced? They announced something, and everybody's joke was, "Oh, this is coming out, but we still don't have GTA 6 or whatever." You know?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but
I remember when the Ukraine war started off, and obviously it's a terrible thing, but I remember someone commented something saying we really got World War III before GTA 6.
So we can just we can remove whatever you want to remove.
Love ain't true.
Love ain't true, because there's an exclamation point. And that brings us back to what I consider the
90s,
the classic era of Ugly Kid Joe. Because I think that there are a lot of people who think that like Ugly Kid Joe put out like the one album in the early 90s and then that's kind of it. And it's because that their popularity kind of quickly fell off, and the next two albums they put out did not do very well at all.
They're full from popularity, in terms of, that was a complete side effect of how music was going at the time. They could have very easily rode the grunge wave, but because of their history in like the more hair metal adjacent tendencies, definitely scuppered them a bit. But yeah,
I think that they were existing as a we don't give a fuck band in a sea of bands who did give a fuck.
Yeah, because that's a really good way to put it.
Because you in the early 90s you still had bands like Scatterbrain and bands like that getting signed to majors, but then once the grunge thing took over, everything became more serious. Which, like we've talked about a lot of that music is fucking incredible. But there was my only gripe about that period of music is that there was a cool kids crowd. And if you weren't doing a specific kind of thing for metal or grunge or alternative or whatever, then you were like kind of pushed away, like, no, that's not what's happening right now. But I'm like, well, why can't all that shit happen all at the same time?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Anyway. Elitism. How inclusive.
Yeah. So now we're moving back to 1996, and I have a cassette of Motel California.
Nice, dude.
That's a
mustache. Nice.
When I found this, it was unopened. Like it had shrink wrap on it. So if you look how nice the card is, the inside bendy. What do you call that? The
pristine.
Yeah, it's been opened. That's probably the second time it's been opened right there. But this one, they did some company did a repressing of these two, this one and Menace to Sobriety, in Australia, and they're only available in Australia. So even when they were new, it was like, oh, you pay $35 for this vinyl plus $85 shipping or whatever. And I was like, no thanks. And now they're worth like a couple $100. So I would like somebody to do a fucking real version. These two albums are primed for a Record Store Day re-release. So somebody get on that shit, because I want both of these on vinyl. I actually like Motel California more than Menace to Sobriety. I think I may have even put it higher on my ranking. I spent such a long time.
You did. I remember it. Yeah.
And I think it's because I like I like how they brought in like the groove aspect. They still had like a lot of the rockin' tunes, but there was an interesting sort of funkiness sometimes to some of the stuff that I really enjoy.
Mm.
So this one was actually kind of difficult because I don't really think, well, I guess even with Minutes to Sobriety, I don't really think there's a shitty song on it. And obviously we can't get rid of Rage Against the Answering Machine because that's barely a song.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, you go first. I've been going first about what I removed. Let's hear what you removed.
Well, upon going through the track listing, I thought to myself, well, yeah, Rage Against the Answering Machine can't go because, like you say, it's more of a interlude. It's an interesting track, but it's not really a song.
Yeah.
It sounds like, hey, we got all these answering machines and these riffs. Let's do something weird because it's the 90s. It's a Lie is fucking awesome. Dialogue is really cool. Sandwich is a great time.
Sandwich is my favorite song on the album.
Is it? Nice. Yeah. A fish over here. A fish over there.
Here, fish, there, fish.
Everywhere a motherfucking fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Would You Like to Be There is one of the most beautiful fucking rock songs ever.
It's good. It's good
travesty that song isn't more well known. Little Red Band's awesome. Super groovy. Yeah. Bicycle Wheels is
I love that one too.
Heck. Father, like, damn, dude, they just keep giving. Undertow, I love Undertow. The vibe of that song is just so chill but rocking. I feel like that is the mark of a great band, is you can do a song that rocks and is chill.
Yeah.
Shine is cool. Strange is a song that really grew on me over the years. So it's like, it starts off groovy already, and then in this midsection, it just has this like herky jerky Alice in Chains moment where I'm like, what is happening? I love it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, however, when we get to 12 Cents, I'm like, 12 Cents is nice.
Yeah.
But in the context of the entire album, it does feel like the song that's like, okay, album's over, time to start doing some chores, you know?
Yeah.
Or, you know, had I not already been doing chores, but, you know,
yeah,
right. That's more about me, less to do with the music. Like, I do think it's cool that, you know, it's track 12 Cents, got him. But, you know, it's already a pretty chill track. I like the kind of flute on it as well at points. And it's got that like weird secret bonus track percussion thing going on, but it definitely feels like the cool down of the album. But Strange would do a good job of closing the album out, I think.
So you're thinking 12 Cents would get the boot?
I'm thinking 12 Cents. You know, if we were including anything else, I would have just gone Rage Against the Answering Machine, just because it's this little thing. But we can't get rid of it because it's not a fully formed song. That being said, you know, it would also cut the album down to a concise 34 minutes, you know, removing that track, which, you know, is a big yes on this show. But I don't feel good about removing any song here on in because I love every single one of them.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but my choice to remove was Father, because Father's my least favorite song on the album. And I think it's mostly because it's got that repetitive thing that goes on through a lot of the song. And
Yeah.
It's a little bit, if I'm not in the mood for that song, that part kind of annoys me that it repeats so much. So that's the big reason that I chose it, but it's not a bad song by any stretch. But it's really the only one when I went through these that I went, all right, I could get rid of that one. All the rest of them I think have really strong qualities, including 12 Cents. But now comes to the point where we sit here and look at each other until one of us snaps.
I'm I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and agree. Father is very repetitive. I think it brings something to the table that other songs on the album do, whereas 12 Cents is very unique.
And you like the cool down.
I do like the cool down. So with that, I'm gonna hand this one over to you. I think Father.
Nice.
Ultimately, upon re-examination, I agree with you.
We're removing Father from Motel California. Faja. Austin Powers Faja. Is Farger? Anyway, I love the Austin Powers movies.
Yeah, baby.
I love them. I love them. The first one is obviously like, I think it's an absolute classic. The other two are fun and funny, but like that first one is one of those movies that just like it holds up, in my opinion, holds up so well.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking funny.
The Austin Powers scene that always sticks in my mind is the steamroller scene. Where
Yeah.
it's like, no! And it's like across the room, and it's just slowly trundling towards him.
Yep. Anyway, okay, so moving backwards one year to 1995. And once again, I have this one on cassette. Menace to Sobriety.
Beauty.
This one is not isn't in good of a shape because it's used. But if you can see here, this one did come from BMG, so somebody paid a penny for it or whatever. And then there's this is the one of those ones that I don't like it where they it's too flimsy in the middle, like you could just tear sections off if you wanted to. Yeah. And that was that's cheap ass. You could tell they were a band that wasn't a priority at their label anymore because they're like, don't make the inner card sturdy or anything.
Yeah. I'd buy that for $1.
But I also really like Menace to Sobriety. My only gripe about Menace to Sobriety is I don't like the production. I think it's out of all of their stuff, all of their original run albums, it's kind of like the worst sounding.
Yeah, I'd never noticed until you brought it up the first time we ranked how bad the drums sound, but like,
yeah,
the drums are pretty. It's not the highest production quality, but thankfully the songs are good enough to carry the album.
Yeah.
To where, I mean, it is a chunky album. It is 50 minutes if you've got the European version that has Slower Than Nowhere on it.
Yeah.
And this is like the exception to the cool down thing. Candle Song on the version I've got doesn't close the album out. It's Slower Than Nowhere, but
yeah, this ends with Candle Song on my cassette.
Yeah. See, Slower Than Nowhere for me, it has that after credits vibe where it's like it's still chill, but it's a rock song.
Yeah.
And it'll always be there for me because I'm in Europe. But yeah, like I say, this album is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's any other band's best album. It's awesome. Obviously intro we can't get rid of. God is a corker. Tomorrow's World kicks ass.
Yep.
Clover fucking rules, and it marks the first usage of double bass in an Ugly Kid Joe song, which is pretty cool.
And that's
Shannon Larkin.
Shannon Larkin, who was in Rothschild America, a band that I did a Bands You Should Know on. He was the drummer of Rothschild. They had to call themselves Rothschild America because there was a British band called Rothschild. I don't know.
You wanna know about shitty production? Go listen to that first Rothschild album. The drums the drums are a drum machine, and it is even me, even I, the 80s guy, cannot deny. Even I, the 80s guy, cannot deny the production on that album is ass.
I don't think I've ever heard it, so I'd have to go check it out.
Actually,
they don't lean into the electronic drum thing and make it sound electronic. Are they trying to make it sound like real drums and it's not working or something?
load up Stack Attack by Wrathchild right now, and I want to see your live reaction to that. I like the songs. It's a fun time. This is an album that I have listened to several times because it's fun. The songs are fun. The production is laughably bad.
Oh, the cover of this album is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's something else.
Spooky beginning. How have I not heard this? I don't know how I haven't heard this. Just playing it out loud. I'll probably have to cut this out.
Okay. Wait for it.
Anyway.
Yeah, it is. It's arguably, as much as I love it, it's the most unforgivable hair metal I've ever heard.
Well, the thing that's funny about that is that whatever drum machine they were using didn't have anything that sounds like a hi-hat, so it's a fucking tambourine.
Right. Yeah.
It's a tambourine sound.
Did you hear any of the ride cymbal that sounds the exact same bell every time? Ting, 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 ting.
No,
ting. Yeah,
So it wasn't very clear here. But so speaking of that, like those drums sound way better than the drums on my old ass demos from when I was a teenager. So get ready for that shit.
Nice. Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, but I feel like they could have, that album could have been way cooler if they had leaned into the electronic drum thing, and then it would have been kind of ahead of its time, really. Because what was that, 84 or some shit, that album?
84, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's just a shame that they were using like a Casio keyboard demo instead of an actual Simmons kit. So
yeah. I had the keyboard that I had that I used the drums for. You had a lot of them back then had the demo thing where it would play something that would kind of show off all the different sounds while you were in the store. Yeah. And the one that I had played "Wake Me Up Before You Go." but it literally, like, it went through all the different keyboard sounds. It was like it would go through all these different sounds, and I would always sometimes I would just play that and be like, hey, it's cool. How can you not have a good time to any version of "Wake Me Up Before You Go"? So anyway,
Jitterbug. And we just got claimed. Okay, so as I was saying though, Cust, otherwise known as Can't You See Them, is funky metal goodness. Milkman's Son is a classic.
Yep.
90s banger. Deserves more recognition. Sucker Path is cool. It's
Great
cool.
song.
Great song. Cloudy Skies. I love Cloudy Skies, man.
It's a very feel good, mild, chill song.
Yeah,
which I like.
Yeah. That song is a very comforting song to me. Whenever it comes on, I'm like, for the next 4.5 minutes, everything's okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Rode a Harley is super fun. Like that riff is fun. 10 out of 10, though repetitive. I love all the riffs in it. I love where it goes. Like it's one of those that they hammer it home, but I don't care because everything's so tasty.
Yeah, I don't care either. It's good.
Yeah, VIP is great fun. Oompa is my choice to.
I feel like that's too easy.
well, my thoughts were, it's a fully formed song, really, in terms of it has lyrics. It's an original, and
it's not really original. It's the fucking.
I suppose you're right. Actually,
it's fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I suppose I was thinking more from a musical perspective. Yeah, maybe Oompa is a bit of a cop out. Fuck it, I'm changing my pick.
All right, and then we
Yeah,
still got two more. Well, on
Candle
your version,
Song.
two more. Yeah.
Candle Song, love it. It's a nice cool down. Slower Than Nowhere would be staying as far as I'm concerned. It's a nice little
I didn't even consider it because I feel like it's also a cop out for bonus tracks to get removed. So I basically went off like the one I have, like what would I remove from mine?
cool.
I'll give you a second to think, but I actually chose Jesus Rode a Harley to get rid of because
Okay.
it's the least. It's a fun song, but it's actually kind of goofy, and I wouldn't miss it if it wasn't there. A lot of the other ones have something about them that I really like. So that's why I chose that one.
Shit, dude. Fuck it. You know what? I've led the charge on the first three. Yeah, I'll give it to you there. Jesus Rode a Harley is kind of a. If I was gonna pick a song on the album that lyrically I thought was the goofiest, then that is definitely the one. And I know it's kind of weird saying that about Ugly Kid Joe because they're known for having a very thinly veiled sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think just some things are kind of goofy and silly, and then some things seem too easy. You know what I'm saying? There's humor that's just like didn't seem like it took a whole lot of thought.
Low hanging fruit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, real quick, complete side note. What do we think of the cut off Judas Priest shirt? Ripped the sleeves off just this morning.
Yeah, I mean if there are some shirts that it seems appropriate that you tear the sleeves off of them, and a Screaming for Vengeance T-shirt is perfect.
Punk belongs on fucking Mars, man.
And Madonna can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. She's a dick. It's the best line in that entire fucking thing.
Yeah, that is a time capsule. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I've wanted to bring that up this entire time because now
it's all right.
Now you're a huge Priest fan.
To a point, yeah. I did not buy their most recent album because I just thought it was just okay. But Priest all the way through Painkiller, I've become a very big fan.
Nice.
Very much enjoy. Honestly, like the 80s, starting with 1980 all the way through to 1990, I'm just like the variety of sounds and the different classic fucking songs all packed into that 10-year period for that band. I'm just like, that's just amazing shit right there.
It's pretty
like I would even like at this point I would even put them as a British metal band. I'll put them above Iron Maiden.
Whoa!
Just for like my enjoyability, because the 80s Maiden output's fucking incredible, but
there's less variety with Maiden.
There's less variety, and they don't take me to the places I want to go in the 80s. You know, like I want bands from the 80s, at least on one album, to lean way into the 80s. And Maiden only like kind of did that. Like this, you know, and Judas Priest did it for like 3 albums straight.
Yeah.
And I mean, just like,
Turbo might as well be the soundtrack to a coming of age movie. Like
I love that album so much. It's at the point now because I would still probably put Defenders of the Faith as my favorite, but like it is followed insanely closely by Turbo, which is followed insanely closely by Ram It Down. Like that 3-album run by them. And I know, it's obvious for a lot of Judas Priest fans, that's probably the period that they don't like, and they would put those at the bottom. But you know, I'll understand all day long how people love Painkiller. It's great, but those 80s albums they really speak to me on, and I think we've talked about this before. I think it's because they sound of their time, and it's a time period that there's no way shit like that's going to exist again. Even with the technology to recreate the sounds, it's never going to have all of the elements in place that are so perfect. So
I'm going to try my best to do that, but you know.
Yeah, but I just so let's take it. I mean, I guess it's on topic because you're wearing "Screaming for Vengeance," which is an '80s Judas Priest album.
Screaming for vengeance.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
That
what
ties into.
We got rid of Jesus. Jesus rode a Harley. We got rid of he's gone. Right? Sorry, Christians. Jesus is gone, according to Grooved and Removed. This is going to be fun because I have more shit to show now.
Cool.
America's Least Wanted.
Yay!
And this is on the album. It's a different running order. If you look, it's Neighbor and then Come Tomorrow is the second song. And then Goddamn Devil starts side B.
Interesting.
Which is pretty cool. But anyway, that's an OG European pressing of this. Hey, look at
nice. I still need to get a vinyl copy of that.
I feel like that might be easier to come by around your parts.
Yeah, I've just never run into one in the wild. When I do, I'm gonna pick it up.
I'm gonna go ahead and show these off too before we get to talking about it. So I've got this 12-inch of the Neighbor.
I have that.
Yeah. And then I also have. So that's got Neighbor and Too Bad and Funky Fresh from a live show.
Yeah.
And then I also have Cats in the Cradle.
Nice.
Which I think also has live tracks. Yeah. It also has Panhandlin' Prince and then Whiplash, Liquor, and Neighbor live. I think that's from Stockholm.
I think I have the 7-inch of that.
Oh, the ones on here are actually from Dallas, Texas, the live tracks. But you know me, I love 12-inch maxi singles. Love them.
I've really fallen down the 12-inch maxi rabbit hole lately. I'm like,
yeah,
these aren't getting repressed, and I almost feel more compelled to collect stuff like that at this stage.
Yeah. And they haven't, a lot of them haven't reached the point yet where I think people are wanting them, so the prices aren't fucking sky high. So I've got all sorts of really cool ones. But there are also other ones that I paid a pretty penny for. I think I talked about this on one of our other episodes. I have all of the Nirvana 12-inch maxi singles and all of the Metallica 12-inch maxi singles. So those weren't cheap. So
there's what is it? I'm pretty sure it's Love Rio Six Ugly Head single that's like a wacky shape.
I don't think I have the weird shape one. But I have a whole bunch of Living Color ones.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anyway, Living Color, another great band that we would do a Grooved and Removed. That would be really difficult for me because I love so much Living Color. Anyway, so America's Least Wanted, which was I think both of our number one albums when we did our ranking.
Yeah. Easily.
Which this is an interesting one because I've said it before. Like, to me, this is not a perfect album by any stretch of the imagination. There are things about it that I don't think work that well all the time for me. But it's a very special album because it was, I was starting high school, and this album kind of just this album was kind of weird, a weird rocker, which is what I have been my whole life. I'm a weird rocker. I don't really fit in anywhere, and I've never been very cool. And that's
up until very recently, there was a very visible poster of the album cover right behind you.
I just changed my angle, but now I get to move my head slightly, and Saint Anger is over my shoulder. But yeah, so it was hard for me to choose because honestly, my when I'm looking at the tracks, my first response would be to remove Cats in the Cradle because I just don't. I'm just like, but it's a cover, so we can't get rid of Cats in the Cradle. And then there's a part of me that goes, well, I would get rid of the Madman remix because I've never fucking understood why on an album with a parental advisory they re-recorded the vocals to take out the bad words. It's pretty fucking stupid. But I feel like that's a cop out too, right? Removing like a re-recording.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm taking the lead here. I'll let you do your whole thing as soon as we're done. So I ended up going with Same Side for the one that I would remove.
Okay.
Because there's a couple like between this one and maybe even Come Tomorrow might be another one that like I don't 100% love it, but I think out of the two, Same Side is.
Nah, see, I love Come Tomorrow. I love the vibey chorused guitars in that chorus. There needs to be more Stone Temple Pilots-y moments in music again, where there's a heavy chord with chimey, clean stuff over the top. It sounds killer. Yeah. Why isn't there more of it? More stuff should sound like core era Stone Temple Pilots.
Well, I mean, to be fair, one of us is in a band that can be doing this kind of stuff.
And as soon as I find a guy to play a sitar, we will be doing that.
Oh, shit.
But yeah. Am I hanging out with Ravi Shankar phase? But yeah, like we say, we can't take out Cats in the Cradle, and we can't take out Everything About You and Madman. For me, I chose to get rid of, begrudgingly, mind you, because this is in my like top 3 albums of all time.
Yeah,
this is extremely hard for me, but if there was any song on this album that I felt was divorced from the identity of its era and the thing the band were going for, it's I'll Keep Trying.
Oh!
Because it feels significantly more hair metal than the rest of the album. And my thoughts for this are, I think of Ugly Kid Joe more in the grunge alternative metal way. So when I'll Keep Trying shows up, suddenly everyone has a perm. I love...
I don't think it's that. It doesn't go that far.
It doesn't, but it goes the furthest out of all of the tracks on this album in that direction. And I love the waka waka guitars on Same Side. I love the bass playing on Same Side. I love the fact it's a somehow chill funk metal song.
Yeah.
My thing is, at its point, I'm gonna go ahead and call this crack Hitler syndrome, where it suffers from the fact that at this point in the album, is it offering anything new?
Yeah,
maybe, but if I'm talking about an album I'd be quite happy seeing performed live in its entirety, if we have to cap one song to make the running order run a little smoother, I don't want to have to get rid of I'll Keep Trying. But when I look at songs like Neighbor, Goddamn Devil, Come Tomorrow, Panhandling Prince, Busy Bee Don't Go, So Damn Cool, Same Side, Cats in the Cradle, at this point I'm like, okay, yeah, Everything About You, Madman, Record Man. Record Man is great because, again, it's that comforting breath mint at the end of the album.
I have some, not to interrupt, but you're going through the track listing, and the things that you're saying about I'll Keep Trying, I think are more prevalent on Don't Go. I think Don't Go feels more like a hair metal track.
I suppose,
than I'll Keep Trying. I don't want to get rid of either one of them. But,
yeah. I think, oh man, here's the thing, is that Don't Go moves around a bit more, you know?
Yep, I agree.
I'll Keep Trying. To put it simply, I'll Keep Trying is a fantastic straight up hard rock song of its era.
Yeah.
The rest of the songs on this album bring something a bit more unique than that song to the table. The most unique thing I can think of about I'll Keep Trying is that really cool, strange time signature thing at the end with that fade out. Dun 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 dun. But see, that's making me not want to get rid of it.
I know.
But
and I love Whitfield's vocals on that song.
Yeah, it's a badass rocker.
I've always been, man, I like Whitfield Crane is somebody that I get so mad at him because like how are you going to be born that good looking and that good of a singer at the same time? Just like save some for the rest of us, motherfucker. So
sexy bastard.
I can't really argue with this though, because yeah, you're right. And I if you're thinking, yeah, you're talking about like same side does have a vibe. You okay, buddy? yeah, he hacked up something.
Get rid of Come Tomorrow.
No, but you're right. Like same side, which is the one that I chose, it does bring a different vibe to that part of the album. Especially after So Damn Cool, which So Damn Cool is to me is the song on the album that if you would have chosen it, I would have said, I think we should stop doing these shows.
Agreed. which makes it that much. This is only gonna further make you want to do this podcast for as long as possible when you find out So Damn Cool is a cover we do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sage.
Really
we do a cover set in the middle.
When you guys play, do you do long sets? Like how does it? Because I've only been in bands where you're booked at a show with 6 bands total, and you get 30 minutes, and that includes anything you want to say in between the songs, and so they're in and out. Like you're not playing very much.
It depends what the deal is. It depends on if they want us for the whole night. If so, we've got an entire cover set like that we do, and we learn.
That's some fucking Beatles in Hamburg type shit right there.
Yeah, we set out very early on. We were like, okay, we're a band starting out. Let's do half of our originals at the start, do a cover set in the middle, the other half of the originals at the end. And then that way people will be like, people tend to remember the beginning and the end of something. So split our originals either end and then do a variety of covers ranging from Children of the Grave, Floyd the Barber, So Damn Cool.
Man, I'm so pissed that I don't live where I can just go, because I would love to just come and hang out and watch you guys play. That would be so much fun. And I hate leaving my house, but I would absolutely leave for that. So it sucks. But you know, such is life.
The venue we've probably played at the most is probably the Deck in Perranporth. And that feels like home turf at this point. Whenever we play a gig there, it's like, free beer, fuck it. Yeah. Free peanuts. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That was my dinner one night. I forgot to eat before we went on, and I was like, oh, shit, can you wrangle me up a couple of packs of like chili peanuts? Just downed them before I went on stage. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good fun. Good fun.
Yeah, I guess getting rid of I'll Keep Trying makes sense, because it does also make some kind of sense. Cats in the Cradle, whatever. Cats in the Cradle leading into
Shits in the Shizzle.
Everything About You. It's almost like a different section of the album starts, because we have a cover song and then we have a couple obviously Everything About You is not a re-recording, but and then capping it off with Mr. Record Man, which is a very kind of different track that doesn't even have Whitfield Crane singing on it. But
I always wondered that. Who sings on that?
Does it say? Does it say?
I always
Klaus.
thought
It's Klaus.
is it Klaus? Is it? Oh, finally,
Yeah.
I know the answer to that. That's
Yeah.
been bugging me for fucking years, dude.
Because he wrote it too, so that makes sense. That it was probably just something that he was fucking around with, and it's like it's perfect because that song doesn't need like amazing vocals. It's he does deliver it with kind of a oh shucks. I'm in a band. Come on, guys, kind of quality to it. So
I was just gonna say I love the guitar solo in that song. It's so tasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm cool with removing. I'll keep trying.
Okay.
It also narrows it. Makes it a tight 12-track album and not a 13-track album. I like that too. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's remove. I'll keep trying.
Okay.
Which is sad, but
I know. I'm devastated that any of this would be going. It's like so integral to, as far as I'm concerned, the album is perfect across the board.
Yeah, I agree. It is. I like it. Flaws and all. I love the way that it plays out. And yeah,
I was once so bored at my job at Tesco a while back now that I once whispered the entirety of that album to myself under my breath carrying out my job. I just said to myself, let's see if I can do this from memory. And lo and behold, I got like 10 tracks in before I started second guessing myself. And at that
I have
point,
to stop myself from doing that shit because sometimes I'll decide, because like on the weekends I play a lot of records and I'll decide I want to listen to something and my brain will start playing the album if it's one that I know really well. And I'm like, I'm not going to just, oh, there's a thumbs up. I'm not just
agrees with you as well.
I'm not going to do the whole fucking album in my head. I'm going to listen to it later. Stop it, brain. But that brings me, oh man, I'm going to take us way off. I'm going to derail us. This is something that I've been wanting to bring up on an episode for a long time, and I keep forgetting to bring it up.
Okay.
I may have mentioned it briefly, but I don't think I really went in depth. So did I talk? I didn't know. I haven't talked about like the way that my brain has adapted to earworms or songs being in my head. Over the past several years, it's built up to where not only has it become a thing that I'm aware of, but I enjoy it and I've given a name to it. So whenever a song gets stuck in my head, doesn't matter what the song is. It could be a song I love or a song I hate, whatever it is. If there's one part going round and round in my head, you can't get rid of it, whatever. My brain has started creating what I refer to as the fuck off version of a song. And what the fuck off version of a song is, I change the lyrics to the most insulting and inappropriate shit that I can fucking think of. And there's different ways to approach it, because sometimes it doesn't make any sense whatsoever what my brain is saying or whatever. But sometimes I'll put a little bit of the lyrics and then insert a little bit of the fuck off lyrics, and then I make myself laugh out loud, and nobody knows why I'm laughing. And so, but the lyrics always include there's a fuck off version has components that are always there. You're saying fuck off, or go fuck yourself, go fuck your mom, go fuck your dad, go suck a dick, go eat some shit, it's all of these kind of things. And so I'm trying to think of what was the fucking one that I did the other day that I laughed out loud. Oh, here it is. Yeah. The other day, the song I Think We're Alone Now by Tiffany was in my head.
Yeah.
And it just kept going and kept going. And I like that song, but it just kept going. And so just out of nowhere, my brain starts putting it together. And this one made me laugh out loud because I just replaced a little bit of the lyrics. And so my version was, I'm fucking your mom now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I'm fucking your mom now. The fucking of your mom is the only sound. And so I get to that part. Once my brain came up with the fucking of your mom, I laughed so hard. Luckily, I think I was in the bathroom and nobody was around, but I was like, oh, I was so fucking pleased with myself. But the weird thing is, as soon as I come up with that kind of shit, the song just starts to gradually disappear from my head.
Really?
And so I want to extend it to everybody out there. If everybody wants to try out the fuck off version of a song, it doesn't have to be all the elements that I use. Maybe you don't want to tell somebody to go fuck their mom and their dad. I'm equal opportunity. You fuck both your parents in my version. But just something that like feels good, like a Tourette's kind of thing. Like you're saying something, it's just getting that venom out. And it literally has happened to like, you name it. Songs have been in my head and I will create a fuck off version. And sometimes it's not great, but it does the job. And other times, like with the Tiffany song, it's a fucking classic. It's a classic fuck off version. Anyway, you're welcome.
Nice.
That's just what I think. It's been going on for years now. And every time it happens, I go, I gotta tell Eddie about this. And then I completely forget about it.
I'm never gonna hear that Tiffany song the same way again. I'm fucking your mom now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. I'm fucking your mom now. The fucking of your mom is the only sound. That's great.
So, no mothers were harmed in the making of this video.
They were fucked though.
They were. They were. Anyway, I'm so glad I finally talked about that because I keep getting so mad at myself that I forget.
Yeah.
But it seems appropriate on an Ugly Kid Joe related episode for this. I may have to like take that chunk and put it out separately as its own thing because like if people don't want to talk about Ugly Kid Joe, I'm like, yeah, but you need to learn about the fuck off version of songs.
Absolutely.
It's a real thing. Anyway,
it's a PSA.
As ugly as they want to be, we're finally here. With this is a very nice vinyl version of this, and I think you have this one as well.
Yes,
Everything About You 12-inch, which
I think I might have the 12-inch and the 7-inch version.
Oh, okay, yeah. This one has Sin City, which I think is that a Motorhead song they're covering on that one, or is that AC/DC? I can't read it.
I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure if I do have that.
I know it's a cover song. So it's got the clean version of Everything About You on side A. And then
got Glasses Head.
Hi. Yeah, Sin City is a AC/DC song. And then Everything About You Dirty version on side B.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't see shit, so I gotta sometimes when I'm trying to read, my head just starts hurting and I'm like, why am I doing this? I have glasses.
Cool.
Anyway.
Glasses are cool.
This to me, I think this is perfect. Ugly as They Want to Be. I think it's perfect because it's like sometimes EPs just perfectly do everything they need to do.
It's like a mission statement. Yeah.
Yeah. And when this came out, I fucking loved it. But like a lot of people, like I saw the video for Everything About You and I was just like, this is awesome. And so I went and bought the EP. Originally, I had it on cassette, but I don't have the cassette anymore.
And then it was in Wayne's World.
And then it was in Wayne's World very shortly after this, like the year after this.
Yeah.
But so it was actually kind of hard for me to choose what to take out. Because obviously, the first half of track 5 is a cover, but I also really like Funky Fresh Country Club, so that one stays.
Yeah. Funky Fresh staying.
And of course, Mad Men and Everything About You are just absolute classic Ugly Kid Joe songs.
It's entirely between Whiplash Liquor and Too Bad.
Exactly. So, yeah. But I chose Too Bad because I love Whiplash Liquor.
Well, good choice because I did as well. So
yay! That's a nice way to wrap this up. Too Bad has to go.
Yeah, Too Bad. I love Too Bad, but it does go on a little bit. Like it's a 6 minute song. It doesn't
Hmm.
feel like a 6 minute song, but like it like takes 20 minutes of 20. Well, no, sorry, not 20 minutes. 20% of the runtime down. So
Yeah.
if you were trying to make this more concise, that would be the one to go.
I think also around that time, I got so tired of the characters in songs were always Johnny, Tom,
Yeah,
Ricky.
yeah, Johnny, Tommy, Ricky. Yeah,
Just like, you know, but like, yeah, it's not it's the least memorable because everything else, I mean, the whole thing is fucking great. But yeah, Too Bad is the only one that I would be comfortable getting rid of.
agreed.
Not to mention you have that fucking funny as fuck track 6.
Yeah.
Heavy metal.
So, actually, you know what? That isn't the Clover isn't the first double kick in Ugly Kid Joe. It's heavy metal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Davis on drums, which I don't know what happened to Mark Davis after.
I think
Ugly
Mark
Kid Joe.
Davis, he just wanted he didn't want to be in the spotlight as much.
Because he's not. I don't think he's not even the drummer on America's Least Wanted, is he?
He might be on America's Least Wanted. Let me have a
Oh, it
quick
is
look.
Mark Davis, but I think he left shortly after that. Shortly after recording this.
Mark Davis, Ugly Kid Joe. What does it say here? Good old Mark Davis. Legend.
I don't. What did he do? I don't know what he did. Did
Oh
he
no!
play-
He hit the drums on.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, it's like a Facebook post on. I just searched in Mark Davis Ugly Kid Joe into Google, and it said Ugly Kid Joe, Happy B-Day Mark Davis, the man who hit ... And I got a little clickbait there. I was like, who did he hit?
Hopefully not his wife or girlfriend.
Dee
Maybe
Barnes?
hopefully just drums.
But
So
yeah,
anyway, so yeah, that's kind of an anticlimactic ending, but I like the fact that we agreed on which song to remove from Ugly as They Want to Be, which I'm going to immediately add that right back.
yeah.
Yeah, so Ugly Kid Joe also, like, I think that's probably another reason why like I give them so much shit for that last album, because they were such a unique band for the time. They were perfect for that little brief moment of time, but then, you know, they were always just, I love bands where you're just kind of like, when somebody asks you, well, what kind of music is it? And you have to like give them a full paragraph of an explanation, you know, because
Yeah.
just saying like, oh, they're a hard rock band, that doesn't explain anything about Ugly Kid Joe.
No.
So
The latest album definitely does feel the closest to them just being like, hey, we like classic rock. Let's make a classic rock album.
yeah,
So-
but if it had been more fun classic rock songwriting, I'd be into it. But anyway, I don't need to go on and on about that. Everybody gets the point. We get it, old head. You don't like, what is that album called? Rad Wings.
Rad
of
Wings is
Destiny.
Destiny.
Yeah, that one. So that was fun. I don't know what these episodes are always my favorite, because I'm like, what did we accomplish? We literally did nothing. We wasted everybody's time for an hour and a half or whatever, and nobody. I guess, you know, people get some entertainment out of it. And you learned about how to do the fuck off version of a song. So please, you know, take that practice and make it your own. You don't have to follow my rules.
This has all been a valuable lesson. In what? I don't know. But
In how to grow a mustache.
yeah, mustached Eddie brings a message of hope and positivity for the future. If things are bad, shave a mustache in and you automatically look a little bit more like you belong in an 80s cop show. which is a little better than not good.
It is a good. It is. You're right, because it is like a Tom. It's very Tom Selleck. Your mustache.
Thank you. That is exactly what I was going for.
Tom Selleck or Burt Reynolds too. Burt Reynolds as well. Which
all that's missing is a kick-ass 80s sports car.
You got to get the fucking, what's the one from Smokey and the Bandit? Was it a Trans Am?
Trans Am, Firebird, Pontiac, gorgeous car.
Yeah. But I was always like, well, what do you do when it rains? There's no top on part of it. But I guess you put a tarp on it. Yeah. I would never know, because I'm never going to be rich enough to buy a car that requires a tarp.
Yeah.
I guess every car would require a tarp if you want to take care of your shit, but I don't drive enough to care.
I guess maybe it comes with like glass panels you can remove. I'm not 100% sure. Like,
maybe
you can.
If I was super rich, I wouldn't buy myself like a ton of stupid expensive things, but I would probably have in my garage a Trans Am like that one, and one of those red Lamborghinis or whatever. No, what the ones where the doors open up like that
Countach,
from the
Lamborghini Countach.
I would have one of each of those. But I barely even drive it. I would just want to like have it,
sit in it and listen to cassettes.
yeah. And if,
Miami Vice soundtrack.
Oh,
Maybe take it for a ride around the block.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I would do. But
you want to know the one thing that always it made me think, holy shit, you made a car so cool it's a problem, is the Ferrari Testarossa. is that it was built in such a way where having a second wing mirror was pointless, so they only had one.
Yeah.
Where it was like, the way the car's built, it would be physically impossible for you to see it, so we didn't put one on there.
We actually saw a Ferrari. It was similar to, I don't know exactly if they may have different versions of that, but it was a black one, and it's the same shit where you're like, well, how low down do you have to get into that fucking thing? Because it's just like, But and like also they're driving around in like my neighborhood, and I'm all like, this is not really where you want to do that. But I was assuming that they had a drug deal that they had to go to or something, because who the fuck drives a car like that isn't a drug dealer?
Yeah, see, drug dealers that live around here don't drive very glamorous vehicles. The nicest I've seen is probably just a Peugeot 206 that was still fully intact.
I saw this weird video, and I don't know if it's a thing that happens over there, but it was people that worked. I think this was at a Tesco. People were closed for the day, I think, and these little kids were coming up and kicking the doors and flipping them off. And I was just and like all the comments were like, "Oh, this shit happens all the time." I'm like, does that happen? Like little shitty kids just run around and kick in doors and shit?
We have a chav problem over here.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Bastards. I never I didn't really know what a chav was until several years ago. I watched a British TV show called The Misfits. Is it called Misfits? It's like an X-Men kind of thing. Dude,
Ali G is the chav. Archetype.
But I just remember there's a girl it's been such a long time, I don't even remember what she looks like. I just remember being totally turned on by the way she talked, and then realizing that she's a chav, and I'm like, oh, is that bad? Because it's pretty hot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It is. It's probably the attitude.
Maybe that was part of it too.
Adds to the British accent, because
I know it was a cool show.
I know people who talk like that who aren't chavs, but yeah, there is a definite type of chav. I mean, you can be chavvy and not an asshole, but
there's definitely certain British accents that do it for me. Whatever accent Sporty Spice has. She I don't know where she's from, but I like her accent as well.
And then you've got where I'm from, boy. You got bloody Kerno over here. Oh, bloody hell. I've been down Malcolm Barnica's, bought a pasty I have, and I'm going to have it in me tractor. And a lay-by is going to be some bloody good. Yes.
You know what I just realized? You need I mean, maybe not you, because your music is your thing. But have you heard of the TV show Letterkenny?
No.
It's a Canadian show, just about these small town Canadian people, and I love the show so much. But I swear, half of every episode, I have no fucking idea what they're saying, and it's all in English. And so I was like, oh, you should put together like a Cornwall show like that, where it's just small town people, and like you talk so fast and you don't bother to explain things to the audience. It's just. And I was like, oh, that would be cool to have the Cornwall version of Letterkenny. Letterkenny is a fucking great show. You may have to put on subtitles, but even then, it probably won't help you because it's. But yeah. Anyway, all right. I feel we've hit a wall because I'm just recommending TV shows to you.
Cool.
So yeah, that's the end of this episode of Grooved and Removed. And we are going to be back the next time you see us. We're going to be cranking and ranking again a band discography that we're going to try to do it all in one episode. Yeah,
this is a first. We're going to try and do a substantial band's discography in a single episode.
And it's not the biggest discography we've ever done. But it's definitely one that in the past would have been a two-parter. But I really think that, we already occasionally do episodes that push the 3-hour mark. We could probably just,
let's just
focus and yeah. And they're one of those bands that started in the 80s and still does stuff now. And I'm obviously going to have a lot less to say about the newer stuff. But that's all I'm going to say. So hopefully everybody comes back and enjoys that. But I hope you enjoyed this. And before we get out of here, do you have any closing thoughts?
If you ever make it to Cornwall, we're going to do a Cranked and Ranked pasty edition where we're going to go to all of the chain bakeries in Cornwall, and we're going to get a pasty, a large steak pasty from each of them, and we're gonna compare them. We're gonna try and do a Cranked and Ranked pasty edition. If we ever manage to do it, if we ever manage to get you in rainy old Cornwall.
God damn it. If money and time was not an option, I would have already been there. I'm serious though. There is a part of me that I keep thinking, would it be in bad taste for us to start a GoFundMe to get one of us to fly to the other one just to do like an episode or some shit? I don't know. Maybe we might have to warm up to that idea of like a GoFundMe, a Cranked and Ranked GoFundMe. Get the dudes together. It will be what it's called. Would anybody pay for that? If you're still watching, Peanut Butter Platypuses and aluminium. Try that again. Aluminium squirrels, Belvedere ball sitters, Christmas dogs.
Christmas dog.
Would any of you donate? Because I'm going to start crunching numbers and figure what do I need? What do I need to fund a trip to Cornwall? Because honestly, I'm way more I don't know. You've been to big cities in the U.S. before, right?
I've been to New York.
So you don't need to come to Houston. But I feel like it's going to be even more of a fish out of water for me coming over to Cornwall. So
yeah, take you around all the sites. Yeah,
and I just want to go. I want to go to whatever your neighborhood pub is because I love the idea of a neighborhood pub.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that there are some where it's it's just a pub you go in and it's cool. There are other pubs that are like fucking Western saloons, whereas if you sit in the wrong fucking chair, you're gonna be
all of a sudden the guy stops playing the piano.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, dude takes a cigar out of his mouth and he's like, you doing here, boy? Yeah. Except down here.
All we got
like,
here is sarsaparilla.
What are we doing in my seat, boy? You know. Yeah. Yeah. It'd be good fun if we ever manage to do it. It'd be awesome.
There are. I don't know if you've seen it, but there are on TikTok. There are a few pubs from England that literally just live stream the pub when people are like doing karaoke or other shit. I'm like, and usually it's just like packed with old folks, but I'm still like, it seems pretty fun. I kind of like to do that.
My funniest pub story is before we go. My funniest pub story was I was playing a gig in a covers band pre-pandemic. Before that band disbanded. This was 2019, I believe. I was still in uni, and I was playing a gig in the Prince of Wales pub in Falmouth. And
why does that sound familiar?
I may have told this story before.
Maybe so, yeah.
But I remember it was one of my like first pub gigs in a band, and that I properly got off the ground, and it was a covers band. I was the drummer, and we got through like a few songs, and then like we get to the end of a song, and there's this old guy in his seat, and I don't realize that he's watching the football. And he gets out of his seat and he's like, "Yeah!" And I'm like, "Thank you." And then I realized, oh, his team just scored.
I feel like a lot of us have played a similar show in our lifetime where that totally happened. I used to places like that. I'm always like, if you're going to have sports on the TV, can you just put the TV kind of above the band? That way they'll at least be like looking in the direction of the band.
Yeah, it'll be residual vibes.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, that's the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching or listening in the podcast world. We don't forget about you. And then if you want to send me any love or hate mail, go to oldheadnetwork.com and all that stuff. All right, so that's it. And as usual, we're gonna wrap things up by shooting it on over to Mr. Eddie Sparxx to take us out.
Mustache, dude. Yeah, because I got a mustache now.